What if the life you've been looking for has been trying to get your attention this whole time?
Not because it wasn't there, because you were looking somewhere else.
We notice the criticism before the compliment.
The thing we lost before everything we still have.
We spend hours thinking about people who barely think about us.
And seconds appreciating the people who never stop showing up.
We replay conversations over and over in our head.
We predict worst case scenarios, or at least I do,
We chase tomorrow, at least I know I do.
and accidentally miss today far too often.
Today's conversation isn't about pretending that your life is always positive.
It's about asking a simple question.
What deserves your attention?
And what's been stealing it?
Welcome back, everybody, to Aligned Anyway. I am your co host, Josh.
And I'm Tiffany.
Today, we are going to be talking about the art of paying attention, which I think has so many layers to it. But I think because, yeah, well, last week we didn't really do an update. I think maybe we should kind of catch each other up. I know we haven't really been on the every 1 or 2 to 3 day trend. I've been busy, you've been busy. So let's just get in it.
Yeah, life be life, and as we like to say all the time. But first off, I just want to say I really love that we're going to be talking about this because this is just what our art reflecting our life, right? So right now both of us have been kind of slowing down, paying more attention, what kind of vibe I've been on. And I was just want to share like my weekend was so great. Husband, it sounds so cool saying my husband because
So
I
interesting,
don't
right?
say it often a lot. Like this is my first, I'm just still getting used to it, to like talking to people and not just maybe necessarily saying his name. But, you know, Don went to where'd he go? Philly to see his brothers, and then they went up to Ohio. Um,
Ew.
they saw
Why?
the Football Hall of Fame.
Okay,
Eh,
I guess.
why? Why?
Ew, who the fuck goes there unless
What?
it's Cedar Point, which I understand that, but ew.
No, it was Football Hall of Fame, so they created some memories, and so I was just happy that he was happy and got to, like, spend time with his brothers and his dad and his nephews, so that was good, and then I had some much needed girl time. I love girlhood. I know last time I think I talked about the slumber party I did for my stepdaughter and her friends, and I love doing things like that because this is the kinda childhood that, like, I wanted. I wanted the cute little sleepovers and the just overly done up stuff, so, one of my friends that is a neighbor here, she hadn't seen, Practical Magic, so we were like,
My
"Oh, we gotta
god,
watch Practical
yes.
Magic because we're planning on doing, like, a little theme before we go out to the movie to go see it in the movies because I love that movie and so do, the girls, so one of my other friends, she hosted at her house, and we did, like, the midnight margarita scene, so we had the margaritas going,
Put
we
the
had
lime in the
then the
coconut to
coconut.
shake it
Yes,
all up, and put the lime
exactly.
in the oh,
Yes.
so good.
So we had such a good vibe, and literally, like, my friend Evan, she has, like, all the things ready to go, like, she had the salt ready, the right glasses, I was like, "This is bomb," like, okay, she's literally, like, the hostess with the mostest. That next to that phrase is her picture. But no, it was such a great time and it was such a vibe. We all were just so happy, like, too. It was so funny. Like, we were like, you could tell our inner children were like, yay! I think we even did like a yay. Like, I just love girlhood, womanhood, whatever, like, just us having that time to like just be ourselves and be our kids selves and like have that time, especially because sometimes people in high school maybe didn't have close friendships and things like that, so they didn't experience it and they always wanted to, because I think it's something that like we all want to be able to experience, that closeness or that feeling, that vibe, that connection, and we got to, and so that was just a really great feeling. And of course I take it like deeper, and because these are women that I've gotten to know and we've gotten really, like, close and been able to have deep conversations. They're part of the group that I formed from, Connected Conversations Supper Club. So, just great vibes to see that kinda come. to fruition. And then I just got some time with my puppy. You know, you guys know I'm a dog mom now, and Val is 8 months now. And I took her to the downtown Cary dog park. And oh my gosh, it was such a vibe. Everyone was so friendly talking to me. I went by myself without Dawn, which was like a hassle because Val is a lot, but I was able to kind of semi control her and we had a good time. I
She's
definitely want
gonna
to go
grow more
back.
too. I mean, like, she's
I
a
think
beast.
well, the vet said probably like 15 more pounds and then that's about it.
Okay.
So
She'll
I'm
just be a
like,
little
all
thick.
right, that's and not even because you know, we have Bella, and I feel like she was definitely bigger than Val. Val's gonna, you know, she's gonna be muscular and lean, but I think maybe 15 more pounds. We'll see. But she's a big girl, but she's the sweetest little baby. Oh, she just loves people and she
Yeah.
wants to cuddle and just like rub on you and she just loves everybody and she's such a friendly dog at the dog park.
So
She wants
cute.
to be everybody's friend. She kept bringing up the cutest dogs to me. Like, "Look, mom, meet my friend." She brought up this
Oh.
golden retriever named Bentley. Oh my gosh, cutest dog. And me and the dog parents like vibed because I was like, "Oh, Bentley reminds me of Bauer." Bauer is this dog from this like creator that I watch on TikTok or Instagram, and the dog's like really crazy, just has a mind of its own. Is like
Mhm.
pulling on his hat, jumping in the pool, just always doing crazy shit. And I was like, that dog is like, I was like, is that the energy? And she was like, yes, this dog is Bauer. So we just had a connection and it was just I was very much in the moment and really just enjoying that. And I finally taught Val how to potty train. Like
Yes, I'm so
she
glad.
is now going to the bathroom outside and that has just taken off so much stress for me. So
Yes.
that is my vibe and what I got going on.
Well, good. I'm so glad because I know that you and I have been talking about that potty problem, and I was like, "Look, you gotta hold on. Just hang in there. It's gonna be rough for a little bit, but you gotta keep it going." So you got it. You kept it going. Pat yourself on the back real quick. You did it.
Listen, I did it. I did it. I'm so proud of myself for that. I'm like, okay, let's go. Now I'm like, all right, cool. I'm ready for a baby.
Oh, man.
Pump
Yeah.
your brakes.
Yeah, let's puppy still has a little more pooping to do, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
We still
That's true. Let's give it a
no,
little
but
bit more
no,
time.
no, that's so exciting, though. That's so cool. So congratulations. But no, like, we had a good weekend. Dylan's birthday was yesterday, so he decided he wanted to have like a theme park bonanza weekend, which is not really out of the norm for us, but we don't normally spend like a whole weekend there, right? It's usually like a day, we come back at the end of the night. And then this time we went from like a Saturday all the way to Monday night. And we were there from open to close for every single park. So we ended up going to Island of Adventure in Orlando, Universal Orlando first, and then we ended up going to Animal Kingdom, Magic Kingdom, Epcot. We walked the world. We did everything. I ended up walking so freaking much. Like I'm a thick dude and I'm tall and walking and I'm a fast walker and I do a lot of walking. But
Mm.
this something did it different this time around. I'm telling you, it was not an easy feat. Pun intended. It was so bad. It was so, so bad. And then like I mentioned, Dylan's birthday was yesterday, and I felt terrible because I wanted to give him the special weekend, and I felt like I really did a good job getting him whatever he wanted. He wanted food, you got it. You wanted a shirt, you got it. Like, just it's your weekend. I said to him yesterday morning, I said, I physically cannot stand. I have blisters all over my feet. I don't know. Every time I stand, I'm in excruciating pain, and I want to cry. And I'm trying not to ruin your birthday, so I totally understand if you and Renee, who ended up going with us as well, want to go in the park and just do your own thing. I understand. Do not let your birthday be ruined on the account of me. I get it. I'll sit in the car and just take my phone and just get some AC. And he's like, no, 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 come in. So we ended up getting a motor scooter, but I was so embarrassed because I was like, I don't want to be one of those people that have to ride a motor scooter. And what do you do on the rides? And there's certain rules, and where do you put it? And I just
I would have been in my
anxiety,
head with that too.
massive, massive anxiety, and people staring at me is like the absolute nightmare of my existence. Like, that's why I have stage fright. Like, I just I can't handle it. But here I am. We get the car. By the way, it's like $65 plus a $20 deposit that you get back that's refundable. Not cheap, but it is transferable from park to park. So we did end up doing that from between 2 different parks. And it was kind of fun once I got over the embarrassment and anxiety. I was like, "You know what? I'm running past running. I'm riding past all these people." Yeah, exactly. I'm just like and they had a little horn, so if somebody was in front of you, just beep, beep. It was just so small and tinky, and it was just like, beep, beep. It was so funny. So I was then doing circles around Dylan and Renee and just being stupid, and I was having this stupid face thing. And I was like, "Do you guys
Let's
wanna
go,
wanna
guys.
test you wanna test the wheels?" She goes, "Full torque." And they were like, "You're so
Bill
dumb."
Tork.
It's like, "Wanna hear the rev on my engine?" Oh, it was good. And then Renee at the end of the night, once she
Annoying.
got over the embarrassment, she's like, "Okay, I'll give it a shot." And she was doing it for a good, like, 5 minutes, and I was like, "Okay, but really my feet are, like, in severe pain, so you can give that back now." But she was like, "I get why you had fun. This thing was cool." And
Hey,
then I got home
honestly,
and yeah,
I feel like
it was fun.
everyone should do that. Like, just to get a little bit of a break and get a little breeze. Like, listen, it doesn't have to just be for disabled, like, you have to pay for it, right? So, if
Mhm.
you need to use it, and then also you were in pain, so you don't I hate that you felt that embarrassment, but I get it because I would've felt that embarrassment too, but, like, you need to use that, so you paid for the convenience, right? That's the most expensive thing out there is convenience,
You're not wrong.
and if I got blisters and I wanna do this, yeah, I'm gonna ride around in my little scooter, and everybody else is probably jealous anyway because they know it's hot as hell and they gotta walk around, so,
Oh,
haters,
yeah.
if they
It
were
was
staring,
funny
it's
that
just because
and
they were like, "Damn, I want that."
I thought I was, like, this special guy, you know? I was, like, in these lines. I was asking people at the gate. I was like, "So, like, what do I do with this? Like, there's gotta be, like, another lane, right?" And they're like, "Oh, no. We have ADA capability, so everything is perfectly fine to just move. It's a little tight in some spaces, but you can just it's good. They have tight, turn angles on the ECV," which is the electric convenience vehicle is what they call it. "Okay, sure. We'll test it out." And shit enough, I didn't hit one wall. It was real tight. It was getting a little scary in some spots in the Avatar ride, but I'm like, I got it, and I did, and people were staring at me all over the place, but I was like, whatever, I don't gotta stand in this line while you motherfuckers are watching me, I'm on my
You
phone."
know, why are people staring? I think honestly, I really do believe people are staring in envy, like, "Damn, I wish I was riding that." They probably were like, "I got blisters. I should go get one. Where do I get one?" Maybe that's why they're staring, you know?
I did hear some bastard kid say to his mom, and I don't know how or why, but I have supersonic hearing in my right ear, and I can barely hear out of my left. So when I do hear, I can hear everything out of my right ear, and then in my left ear, I can't hear shit. This ear apparently caught what he was saying. He's like, "Mom, why is that fat guy riding a little scooter?" I'm like, "You little shit." But
God.
I didn't say that, of
Guys,
course.
he's kidding. We love the
I
kids.
am. I love children. They're so much fun.
So listen, at the parks is when like the kids they be saying anything and kids are brutal. Like
I can't.
remember I told you I got kicked off that ride at Animal Kingdom, I'll never forget. And that kid's like, why does that fat lady have to get off?
Was it Avatar?
It's Avatar, yeah.
Here's the thing. Okay, so now that you mentioned that, there was a guy that couldn't get on when we were in our ride, and then he stood up, and I am bigger than him. And I'm like, "How the fuck did you not get on that ride?" And his whole family was, like, upset, and I was like and Dylan looked at me too, he's like, "He's not even that big." I was like, "I know." And I was like, "I'm literally in this thing." Maybe they didn't give him a push because I mean,
Or they
I didn't
didn't
get, like
try maybe?
I
I
didn't
don't
have any
know.
issue though. I'm not exactly a skinny twig, so, I was a
Listen,
little shocked, so it's not your
all I
fault.
know is I didn't go back until I lost 100 pounds, and then I went back for my birthday to be like, suck
It's
it.
a great ride though, right? It's beautiful.
I don't know, I didn't ride that ride. I just went
Oh,
back to
okay.
the theme parks. I went to Harry
Gotcha.
Potter World instead because
Okay.
I was just scared to go to theme parks in general, like, I don't wanna spend the money if I can't ride the rides, and then I realized I don't actually like rides, so it was like, "Oh, I don't think I wanna do this anyway." I don't like heights. I don't really like things going so fast. I'm just not adventurous in that you're not gonna see me bungee jumping or jumping out of planes or none of that crazy shit. Mm-mm,
Mhm.
on the ground. I
Speaking
cried
of
going
anime
up the escalator to the nosebleeds.
shit. We also ended up going to SeaWorld. I had never been, so that was
Oh,
also an
okay.
experience. They have some great rides. I will tell you, the Manta people, if you are out there and you're listening, and hopefully you are, you do not want to ride this ride. I've never been somebody scared of a roller coaster in my entire life, ever. And I've ridden pretty much everything out there, and I'm a thrill-seeking junkie. I have bungee jumped from a ripcord in Cedar Point before. I mean, I am a
I know you bungee
daredevil.
jumped? Oh,
I have.
hell
Well, it was a
no.
ripcord jump. I guess it's the same thing in my opinion. You jump for your life. That's what I did.
It's the same thing. That's
Right.
crazy.
I did that with my dad and my 2 brothers all in one bunch. It was a good time. There's something about this ride, you're laying forward, like, on your stomach, and you go up, and you go down this big hill, and then you go up again, and then somehow it takes you backwards. So now you're going backwards, upside down, and something about the way that does your body, I felt in that, like, half split second that I was literally dying. I was like, "Oh my god, this is it." And then I came out, and I was like, "Okay, okay, okay." And I got off the ride and I said, "I will 0% chance do that ever fucking again in my life." And Renee was like, "I know, it's so bad."
That's
I
too
was like,
much. I mean,
"Never,
well,
never,
a lot of things are too much for me, but that sounds like I would look at that and be like, hell to the fuck no." I mean,
never."
however, I say hell no to like all of the things though. So
No.
I don't know. Like, if I were to go, I definitely don't want it to be like plunging to my death, you know? Like, I prefer water rides. Like, I've been whitewater rafting, like, that's dangerous, that's adventurous, but, like, for some reason in my head, I'm like, "Well, I could swim really well, so I could figure it out," you know? But, like, the plunging to my death, I'm like, "I can't fly, so I don't know what the fuck I would do." So I just if there's no exit strategy, I'm like, "No, I can't."
Yeah, younger me was really stupid and decided these things were fun, and younger me was also apparently not afraid of dying. Older me, much older me, is very much afraid of dying and very much precious, with his time in life.
Very
So,
much, I don't know.
yeah, I'm just very precious with those things these days. So they're very precious to me, I should say. However, I think that is a nice segue into today's topic of paying attention and taking these things uh, not for granted and making sure that we understand they're precious and we understand that we're constantly competing for these other things out there and other things are competing for us that we're not even paying attention to these small things. And I want to ask you, what steals your attention these days? What's taking things away from you the fastest?
Mm. I will say I feel like I'm working on this and I have been working on this for several weeks now, but my phone steals my attention. And when I say my phone, I mean like my phone could be like a picture that comes up from my past. Maybe it was something I didn't want to remember. My attention goes to that memory, that moment, how I was feeling, replaying that. Then I like can have this cycle of like beating myself up and it's just not a great thing. Or like Facebook memories pops up and I cringe because I'm like, oh my God, why did I post that? Why did I say that? Like literally, there is nothing worse than like 2012 Tiffany. Oh my god, 2012 Tiffany? No, right? So, I go back to that moment, and so I say my phone because it's so many things on my phone. It could be social media, it's something that I see that I'm like, "Dang, I wish I had that." That steals my moment, my joy. It takes me out of where I currently am, but it's like our lifeline, right? Like, we use the phone for every single thing, so when do we not have our phone in our hand? So it's like, how do you stay present and how do you make sure that your attention is in the moment and where it needs to be? And for me, I think that's detachment, like just detaching myself from things and physical things and thoughts that are kind of materialistic in a way, whether it's a type of lifestyle I want or just how someone looks or makeup that someone has. You know what I mean? Things like that. Practicing that so that I can actually focus and stay in the moment and pay attention to the here and now.
Yeah, and I think the cell phone thing is 100% right. I understand cell phones are everywhere. We need them. It's our life, it's tech, it's whatever. I have a hard time staying consistent with the separation because I don't have an issue stopping my phone. I could be off of it for days. I could be off of it, put my thing turn it off. I don't give a shit.
What?
Now,
I cannot.
I would freak the fuck out
Oh, well.
inside, but I could do it. I can get off social media. I deleted Facebook for a year on end. Like, I could do that. But then I also started a business. I had started the podcast with Humor Haunts and Homicide, and that brought me back into social media and then I went away again, and then I feel like I bring it back when it serves my creative need. I don't need it for communication purposes because I feel like we should be able to call each other. We should be able to email. We should be able to text. And even that, texting, emailing, that's a form of desensitization. I think that that really diminishes the value of connection. So I'm trying to be more cognizant of that, even though I know that I'm guilty of it. I'm a hypocrite.
I think that I just you're better at it than me, than disconnecting. I definitely struggle with disconnecting. There are times where I can connect and I'm like, "No, I wanna actively focus on this," but if someone around me isn't, then, I'm now taken out of that moment, and so I think kind of aligned with, like, what do I pay attention to that I don't want to necessarily other than the phone would be like my moods. Like I pay entirely too much attention to my mood. I saw this post my cousin Jayla posted where it was like pay attention to the schedule or stick to the plan, not your mood, or follow the plan, not your mood. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's what I need to do because you know how many plans I've canceled because my mood changed, but then my mood changed back. And then I was looking at stuff on social media and then I had FOMO. And it's like, had I just stayed in the moment and stuck with the plan and did the thing, I wouldn't have missed out on that opportunity or had FOMO because I was there,
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
instead, I let my mood dictate my actions, and now I'm stuck with looking like little baby, a little jealous, you know what I'm saying? Like,
What are you doing to not be so involved in?
I mean, lately I've been involved in my phone, but I've been, like, doing things, like, not necessarily social media, like, I've been kinda organizing my life, creating a budget, kinda coming up with some plans, working on things for Aligned Anyway, doing videos, so using it for productive, creative reasons, creative outlets, so I think I've been shifting my energy and my attention to my creative outlets to kinda help me, right? So, like, planning my day, creating my fairy tale summer plan and calendar for, just my healing with my mental health, what my therapist was telling me to do, like, have a schedule, work on certain things so that I can get to a place where I feel stronger mentally.
That's awesome. I love that. What do you think deserved more of your attention this week since you may have given it somewhere else? Is there anywhere that you feel like you maybe could have poured into something?
Um, so where do I feel like I could have poured into something? Um, yeah, I feel like I could have poured more into my writing. I did do some writing, but I was on like a high, right? Like I should have stuck to that and did a little bit more. And there was this writers event that I really wanted to go to. A friend of mine that I recently met through Connected Conversation Supper Club, she hosts a writers event and I wanted to go, but I got kind of caught up. I went to lunch with another friend, one drink led to another, and I just kind of got caught up and was like, oh my God, I forgot I was supposed to go somewhere else, that kind of thing. And I wanted to put my attention there because I knew that would be a positive thing for my creativeness so that I could kind of start working on, my book. And I think I shared this before, but I'm working on fiction, which I've not written before, and I'm a little nervous about it. So I wanted to take the time to actively do that. And so I
Wait, hold up, hold
chose
on,
the
hold on.
latter.
Are you actually doing this?
Yeah, I just don't know how or when I'm gonna do the time, but I'm gonna do it slow, kinda like I did with Connected Conversations where I wrote it in, like, groups and, like, had monthly check-ins, and then we'll just see how much I have at the end of the month. But, like, it won't be any like, the manuscript won't be done for probably, like, 2 years, that kinda thing.
No, I'm excited because we just talked in the audience, you don't know this because Tiffany and I are obviously friends outside of the podcast, but you had told me, like and you were pretty because I was excited, you kinda brought it up, and then you kinda were like, "No, I just don't think I have the capacity," and then it was kinda like a hard stop. Like, at least to me, it felt like you weren't wanting to proceed with it, so now that you're telling me you're, like, bringing that back into your space, I'm excited because, like, you were getting excited and you were, like, really creating this, like, world in your head that I was
Yeah.
excited to read. I can't wait for this to be done.
Yeah, because I hadn't done it before. I mostly do like, my poems are just about like real life and what's going on, but like this is art imitating life, right? So like this is going to be a lot of me and the characters, but just in a different way. So I'm still going to be able to tell a fiction story, but it's all based in realness and truth. And it's just a different take on human emotion. And how we see human emotion. And I'm just going to talk about emotion in a very literal sense, like as in, these are witches, and so their witches are tied to their emotions. So everything is times 10, depending on their personality and where they are emotionally leaning. Um, so it's gonna really feed into kind of my world and my duality of the thing where, I can kind of believe one way, oh my gosh, sorry, I have to stop. But from my window, I can look outside my window and it's a thunderstorm going on right now. And it was the most absolutely beautiful bolt of lightning, like this perfect bolt down. It looked like it might have hit something because it was crazy to see, but so how we talked about attention? I
I
just let
was
my attention shift and look what I caught. The beauty of that. Nature is a beautiful thing.
I'm so
And
glad you clocked it because I was just gonna say that.
well, okay, say what you were gonna say.
You said it. I was just
Oh,
gonna say, speaking of paying attention to the small moments, we just did that here on live on a live
right.
anyway.
And I did it the other day. I was sitting on my patio and I was just looking at the full moon and I had a perfect view. It was like dead set in the middle of my balcony and I'm on the fourth floor so I can see the trees and then a little bit over top some of the buildings and seeing the moon there and I just like sat and paid attention to that. And so I think like when we say what are we paying our attention to, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a specific thing or a certain situation. It's just like, hey, stop and pay attention to nature and like look around you, look at the sky, look how vast the sky is. When is the last time you laid down in the middle of your driveway just to stare at the stars? And it's funny, I used to do that with my stepkids at my mother-in-law's house because the stars are beautiful there. You can see everything. You're not in the city lights. And I would lay right there in the driveway. And I remember Don coming out and he'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Looking at the stars." And he just kinda silently, like, chuckled and then got down and laid down and looked at the stars with us, and I think those are the moments that, like, people be like, "Oh, this is another drop in the love bucket, like, it's another reason why I love you," like, those simple things, and those moments are what's really beautiful, the moments that we didn't get a picture of.
Well, I was getting home from work, I parked the car, and normally Dylan's inside, and he normally doesn't hear me come home, but today, we were talking on the phone, and I was like, "Hey, I'm in the driveway." He opens up the garage. I open the car door. Loki had slipped out of the garage door, like, when Dylan opened it, and I thought, "Oh my god, he's gonna run outside, oh, hurry up." But instead, he, like, hurried up and threw his whole body under my car door because it was just opened, and I don't even know how he squeezed, there was, like, this much space, and he's a chunky little pug. And he did, and he just jumped in my lap in my car and just started licking my face. I started crying. I was like, "He's never done this before." It was the
So
it was the
sweet!
cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. He was
Oh.
so excited to see me, and oh my I can cry again just thinking about it. It was the cutest moment, and Dylan got to watch it, and it was like this thing, and yeah.
See, those are the cutest moments. Like, now that I have a puppy, I get to have those moments too. So today's DJ's birthday. He turned 20 today. And it's so weird. Like, I'm like, wow, it's DJ's birthday. And it's like she knew. Like I said, it's DJ's birthday. And she looks at him and she goes and she runs over, jumps on him, excited. And I'm like, can she
Oh,
understand me? Does she know what I'm saying?
they
Like,
do.
I'm like, "She knows. She knows what I'm saying." She looks at him and she runs over and I'm like, "Okay, so she knows it was the cutest thing." And then he gets to her and he's like, "Hey," like so it was so adorable. But like those moments that we tend to let pass us by and those are the moments that I really wanna start focusing on and paying attention to, not like the big grandiose moments. That's what I love so much about my wedding. It wasn't this big grandiose thing, but it was filled with so many beautiful moments and memories that I'll be able to talk about for years. It didn't have to be this big party for me to be able to talk about it, you know what I mean? It was these moments that created, that movie Inside Out where you have a core memory created and it like takes the core memory and it marbleizes it and it takes the ball shoots up into the little imaginary world and it's like core memory and that core memory makes up who you are as a person, your values and what you really take into account and I think about what you tell me about Loki jumping in. So what you value is, or what Loki is valuing is that time and attention, and dogs are sensitive to how we're feeling and our energies. So maybe there was something that Loki knew that you needed, and kind of like similar to Val, just randomly knowing now how to use the bathroom. I was like breaking down on the phone with my mom because I'm like, this dog is stressing me out, like, and she's like, no, and my mom is not a dog person either. And usually they definitely don't agree with me getting a dog. Usually they do not because they're like, okay, Tiff, this is another impulsive thing. you're a cat lady. You're not gonna want to deal with this dog. You don't have the patience. But like I did it because, we want to have a baby. So I wanted to like kind of test my patience, I guess, in a way, if that makes sense. And
It
it's
does.
like it's an hours baby kind of thing. So I was in my head, I was like, let's prep now because we're gonna start processing everything in January, which is coming up. So I'm like, let's start this now. But she was like totally on board. She was like, I don't know, that's your dog. And I'm like, no, no, it's Dawn's dog. And she's like, the dog's yours. I think she chose you. She's always with you. Look how she is. She chose you. And I'm like, she did definitely choose me. The family chose her. And then I was kind of like, she's too big. I want a little dog. I want a dog I take with me everywhere, in my purse and stuff like that. And I have these the cute little things like picked out and shit. Like really like I was trying to give like Elle Woods type vibes, you know what I
Mm,
mean?
yes.
And, this my baby, my little pit bull lab is not cutting it. It's not giving Elle Woods vibes. It's not giving Bruiser Woods,
That's a
you know?
behemoth. That's a mammoth.
It
Yeah.
it's e exactly, but she kinda Bruiser Woods color, though. She's a little ginger. She looks like a golden,
She's
but,
beautiful.
she's gorgeous, and she has the most prettiest eyes, but, like, you know, she chose me, and now all of a sudden, as soon as she knew I was at breaking point, dude, she now all of a sudden can potty? No.
Well,
She
she's
was
like,
like,
"This
"I'm
bitch is gonna put
stressing
me
my
back
mom
in the
out."
pound. I better figure this
Yeah,
shit out."
she was like, "I'm gonna figure this out. I'm stressing her out. She gonna put me back in. I'm gotta." But no, we went on a trail ride, and I was struggling. My heart started beating really fast. My AFib sometimes like messes with me, and she noticed, and she like picked up her pace to kind of drag me to get me going, and she kept looking back like, "You all right?" And I was like, "Oh, are you saving me? Like, you okay?" Like, so then it was boom, like now another core memory created, right? For me and her, probably. This is how people are build bonds with animals. And I didn't really understand the dog and animal or dog and human bond, to be honest. I was always like, y'all are doing too much. But now I'm the one doing too much because my dog be with me everywhere and she big as hell. And they probably be like, why the hell is she bring this big ass dog? But she friendly and she nice and everybody love her. She get all the attention. I met so many new people now because of this dog. So many new people, like friends and stuff like that. So those are the moments that we got to pay attention to.
And I honestly think that the dog is centering you. It's great. I think animals are great for so many reasons. Emotional support animals are there for a reason, and she's providing emotional support.
She is. She is. Like I took her. She's my little road dog. She goes everywhere with me. They know her at Starbucks. They like see her. They're like, okay,
Oh,
this is the little road.
I love her for you. I love her. Oh, I can't wait to meet her because I've not done that yet, little
I
baby.
know. We need to talk about when you're gonna visit because fall time's coming. So like around fall, it's beautiful here. So
I know. I know. We need to
we
get
got
off
to
there
talk
for
about that.
like a September weekend or something because I think that would be
It's
the perfect
not
time.
fall colors aren't out yet. We're looking like I guess like October, beginning of October. So right at the very end of September.
Well, what is one thing that you want the audience to pay attention to this week?
I want you to pay attention to the moments that make you double take, right? Like how I stopped and had to do a double take and literally shift the conversation to that lightning bolt. Pay attention to that moment. Live in that moment. Talk about that moment. When someone says, "How was your day?" Tell them about the most amazing lightning bolt you saw and how beautiful it was and what it made you feel and what it made you think. I sound like my mother, and we always used to make fun of her when she did this, and now this is who I am. But she wasn't wrong. So pay attention to those moments, whether it's a lightning ball or a sunrise, a sunset, or your dog finally went shit after not doing it for however long. Pay attention to those moments and practice gratitude right then and there. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I need them to pay attention to themselves. Everyone else around you is begging for your attention and needing something from you and wanting something from you, making you feel bad for not giving it to them. You don't need to. You need to be paying attention to you because you, ladies and gentlemen, and they are worth it. Take my advice, spend some time doing what the fuck you want to do because maybe peace isn't something that we have to just find.
Maybe joy isn't something we have to earn.
Maybe people that we love
The moments that matter
and the life that we're hoping for.
have been right in front of us all along.
This week, I need you all to pay attention to something that you usually would rush right past.
Conversation like this one from Aligned Anyway, a sunset, your partner's laugh, or maybe just your own intuition, like Josh was saying,
because what you repeatedly pay attention to.
eventually becomes the story you tell about your life.
Everybody, thank you for spending your attention with us today.
We never take it for granted.
Of course, you're going to see us next week.
Stay aligned anyway. I guess.
Goodbye.